Welcome back to DataMinds Podcast. Today's episode is not a soft conversation, a motivational talk, it's a truth bomb. Because the one thing every organization fears to admit, every consultant hides, and every leader secretly knows about is that data projects fail. Not because of tools, because of dashboards or cloud, but because somewhere between strategy and execution, leadership and teams, the truth gets buried. And today we're uncovering that truth with someone who speaks with clarity, courage, and brutal honesty. Atta, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Farida. In today's episode, I will remove all the excuses. I will remove all the filters and I will remove all the corporate sugar coating, because today we are here for the reasons why the data projects fail. And to know the reasons for the failure, you have to accept some, brutal reality, harsh reality for a better tomorrow. We always, as a data leaders, come up, the project failed because tool didn't perform well. Technology will not do anything by its own, until and unless we as a humans will tell it to do the required thing. It is the people, it is the organization who drives the technology, who drives the tool. Can you imagine? Cloud cannot complain, right? Data pipelines, they don't collapse. Data scripts, they cannot fix by themselves. It is the organization, culture. And people collapse, organization collapse, misalignment collapse, and these are the reasons that most of the data projects fail. So today we will cover one by one the main reasons why the data projects gets failed. Biggest misconception in the entire industry is that project got failed because tool didn't perform well. I'm sorry, that's not the reason. The major reasons of the failure is unrealistic goals, no value defined, unrealistic expectations and timelines. That's very important, and we will cover in this section. The huge important factor, politics, that's also we are going to discuss in that. No alignment, no ownership. So all these factors contribute a lot for a project failure. Short, technology doesn't fail, it's the organization. And let me tell you, Farida, being a leader is not easy. I understand this. They have huge responsibilities on their shoulders to deliver the project, to deliver the value, to deliver the right results. They are bound by the systems or processes around them, which are very bureaucratic, and they get complicated. And unfortunately, the projects fail because of this reason. Projects begin with the statement, we need a dashboard, fancy dashboard, we need AI, we need Gen AI, we need analytics. But we as a leader hardly ask this question, what benefit or what problem is going to be solved with this analytics? What is the ROI? What is the value we are delivering to the end users? Let me tell you one thing. If the value is unknown, the outcome is going to be disaster and it is going to run into the endless loop. So it's very important to know what is the ROI and value realization which is going to be achieved by the end. Dashboard nobody uses is not a tech failure at all. It is a communication failure. If business is not going to own the journey, they are not going to own the outcome. And if nobody is going to own the outcome, the project has failed. Simple as that. Farida, let's be honest. Data projects don't die in development phase. They die in silos. Let me give you one very simple example, and 99% of the companies have the same issues. This is IT jobs. This is data job. This is business job. I'm sorry. Transformation is everyone's job. So here comes the politics and here comes the ownership. If all the stakeholders are going to own it, the outcome will be owned and outcome will be successful. In this section, I would definitely, take a look on the development team who are working on the projects and how they complicate the things. Simplicity makes this output easier. Complexity overkills it. Team, rather than building a useful solution, they go with too much idealism, too much perfection, and that takes their lot of time, and value towards the realization is lost somewhere because the direction of the implementation team is totally changed. So that is one of the major reasons where the projects start getting failed. no ownership means no success. If you are not going to own the process, the lineage, the data, the adoption, a dashboard is a beautiful orphan in that case, not more than that, because nobody is owning it. So what is the value of that dashboard until and unless all the stakeholders are on the same page and own that combined solution? This is a classic case which every organization is facing, all the developers, all the project team is facing. Leadership team wants a magic tomorrow. To achieve that unrealistic magic, team definitely goes for the shortcut. When you go through the shortcut, there is a technical debt. And when there is a technical debt, you are in the failure. Perfect dashboard is worthless if nobody is opening it or using it. Adoption is not the final step. It is the first step. So if your first step is weak, your end step is going to be turned into a disaster. So adoption, we need to start with that so that we achieve the end goal smartly.
Atom, so if these are the reasons projects fail, how do we fix it?
It's very simple, Farida. The first thing, we need to start with the measurable KPI of the project success. Because once we will have the measurable outcome and the measurable KPIs, the success will be quantified in the measurable terms, either success or a failure. There will be no gray area. Organization depends seriously on these three pillars: strategy, platform, and people. One of the pillar, if it collapses, the entire transformation collapses and you go towards the failure. So it's very important that these pillars stay on the same page, work together to bring a huge success. Don't wait for months to show the final results. Deliver in small. It has big advantages. First, your momentum is there to keep building and keep providing the output in phases. Your stakeholders are engaged. They are trying to dig down the value. Secondly, you can easily revert from the failure point, that what went wrong, and you can fix it quickly. Unfortunately, Farida, we have a beautiful methodology which is known as Agile, Scrum. Everyone talks about it. You can write books on that. But leaders are somehow failing to adapt with this Agile technology. Why? Number one, we want everything to be delivered in a single go. As I said in the beginning phase, that we want magic tomorrow. You deliver in 2 weeks, you deliver in 4 weeks. That's the beauty. There will be a momentum of the team to keep doing the work. The value realization will start coming in phases. But we have to treat 2 weeks and 4 weeks sprint in a way that we deliver that particular quantum of amount, not the whole project. Else there is no use of having the Agile methodology, and we will enter the same crisis. And this is one of the reasons the projects do get failed. Reusable components, exponential growth. Redeveloping the things every time, it's a failure. This is a call for all the technical, for the think tanks, the technical think tanks of the project team. The more reusability they can apply, the more there will be a smart work, the more they will consume less time, and they will deliver in a right way. But if you will develop everything from the scratch again and again, that is going to consume the time, and your value is lost somewhere between this whole cycle. You know what? Adoption is not a training. It is a culture. It is a mindset. If you will have the adoption from the start of your implementation or the project or the transformation, you are in the right direction. If you will have no adoption, you are simply heading towards the failure. My only take from all this episode is projects don't fail because of technology or tools. It fails because of the leadership, the culture, the bureaucratic processes, which I have discussed. And the leaders who are going to understand this particular problem will lead the data for decades in a very successful way.
Atta, thank you. That was impressive. And I myself, as a data scientist, align with each and every point you have mentioned today. So I came across, by my experience, was the dashboards requested, but no question, why do we need them? And what kind of problem are they going to solve being asked? And this is a big issue. Totally agree with you. And one thing that I also want to add on top of that is that projects, especially AI projects and projects with big data, they need to be assessed from the cost, hardware, and technology side before jumping in the development, because you might get stuck while partially executing the project. and then you will be stuck because of the resources, insufficient resources that cannot allow you to go further. So Ada, that was a masterclass. It was not just an episode. Very bold, honest, and direct, and absolutely necessary. To everyone listening, if this episode challenged you, good. If it made you uncomfortable, even better. If it opened your eyes, then we've done our job. Data doesn't fail, people fail the data. But with clarity, alignment, and courage, every organization can win. Thank you, Adam, and thank you to all our listeners. This is the DataMinds Podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.